So we'll work on relaxation tonight, certainly, but the low back and hips. And then I think we'll do this little exercise after we center. Looks like Kitten had the tennis ball out. Oh, I need to turn off the sounds on my phone. Oh, there we go. Okay. So just come into Bhumudra with your hands, your fingers touching the earth, and connect with earth, with Gaia, Earth Mother. Send your awareness down into her skin and her bones. Imagine the magma in the center. Some of her plates that shift from time to time. Release any emotion that might be just waiting to be recognized. So it's kind of a 20 day. Today is April 20th, but it's 4/20/2022. So a lot of twos, self and other, relationship, can be relationship to yourself, your higher self, your dream self or inner self. "20" in the tarot is the Judgment card, which is often a picture of an angel with a trumpet calling people up out of their graves. So it's a calling, it can be a new calling. Or a harvesting. As we come up out of the earth now, aware of your body, your breath. Notice your skin. Do you feel the coolness or warmth? Notice your bones. your skull, your shoulders and arms, your spinal column, your hip bones, iliac crest, your thigh bones, knees, bones in your shins and ankles and down into your feet. The structure of your body, your bones. Notice any sensation. Maybe you're tight somewhere or sore. A lot of gardeners this time of year. Notice your organs, your internal organs. See if you can imagine where they are. Lungs, heart, liver, spleen, kidneys, intestines, notice your eyeballs, the muscles around your eyes, your jaw, okay, we'll attune to breath. Just bring your arms up overhead with a deep breath and release down on the out breath and repeat. Feel the luxuriousness of breathing deep. One more breathe up. Now, before you bring your arms down, just turn to your left and open your arms. One arm in front, one arm in back, and then lift and breathe again. Go to the other side, little twist, lower your arms. Breathe it up. Once more to each side. And last time on this side. And back to center, breathing up. And then lower your arms down. Just bring your hands onto your knees. Lift in your spine. Just going to rock side to side. So starting at your hips and then going through your spinal column and over. Lift up and rock over to the other side. So just like seaweed in the ocean or a willow tree, feel your hips and your low back as you move side to side. Stretch away from that opposite hip and knee. Stretch in that hip and the waist. Once more to each side. And breathe and relax into it. Now we're going to bring our arms into it. So just come over to one side. You can place the other hand on the mat if you wish, to side. And reach through your fingertips. And once more to each side. Hold it a little longer this time. Rotate the shoulders perpendicular to the floor. Look up under your arm. Press your sitting bones into the mat. And last time, over and reach, hold, stretch, breathe. And then come up, bring your hands on the mat in front of you, reach up through your spinal column and slide your hands forward. Hinge in your hips, forward bend. Reach a little further. And then leave your torso where it is, but walk your hands in and then use your hands to walk over to one side. Doesn't matter which side, but you want to be over the thigh and relaxing down. Try to keep the sitting bones on the mat. And walk your hands over to the other side. Take your time, just be aware of your hips and your hip joints. Come back to center. We're just going to switch our feet and repeat that on each side. So go to the opposite side that you started with the first time. Just stretch forward and then walk your hands over to the side. Draw your shoulder away from the hip. Turn your torso to face your leg as much as your body will allow. It's a good stretch. And then we'll come over to the other side. Notice how it feels in your hip joints compared to the first time with your feet reversed. If you feel complete in your stretch, just walk your hands to the front and center and press up. Breathe, arms up overhead. Turn to your left and come into a twist. Reach up through your spine. Look over your shoulder. Notice how it feels in your upper back, your trapezius muscles, up into your neck, down into your low back. You feel any glitches in there? Lift your sternum, shoulder blades down. And breathe as you lift arms up, lean back, switch your feet, and just come to your twist on the other side. What does it feel like in your shoulders? As you lift your sternum, what happens to your hips? Is this easier or harder than the first side? And release your arms, lift them up overhead, breathe, and open, lower down. Now, I had mentioned a stretch. It's not a classic yoga pose. It's just a stretch that I found over the years that feels good for the upper back. So all you do is pull your shoulders forward, pull them down and forward, and then press the back of your neck towards the wall. So your chin comes in, not down, but back. Pull your shoulders forward. And then you can relax for a minute, take in a big breath, and then pull shoulders down and forward once again, and pull your neck back like you want to sit the occiput against the wall. All right, and release. And just turn your head side to side to loosen up in your neck a little bit. And circle around in your shoulders. Okay. So that was that. So let's come over onto hands and knees. Come into a puppy stretch. Open the shoulder joints, the chest. And then press down in your palms. We'll come forward and stretch our hips. Let the tops of your feet rest on the mat. Bring your hips forward, knees close together, and pull away from your knees. Lengthen in your torso. Feel that stretch in the low abdomen and your psoas muscles. Engage your hips at least slightly to protect your low back and to help it align and strengthen. Sink as your hips relax, your low back relaxes. Just sink down towards the floor. Open the shoulders, draw them down away from your ears. Let the pubic triangle rest on the mat. Press it down as you engage your hips. Bend your elbows, and here you are in Cobra, King Cobra, Bhujangasana. Press the pubic bone into the ground. Remember Earth Mother. Elbows are in alignment with shoulders and wrists. Lift your chin, lengthen the sternum away from the navel. And press down on your palms and your knees. If you like, you can turn your toes under, but come back into your puppy. And we'll lift into downward facing dog. Toes under, lift. Walk in place to soften the calf muscles. Navel to spine. And just lift your right leg and bring it up in between your hands. Lower your hips down into sun pose. Lift your chin. Allow your hips and groin to stretch. Now walk your hands slightly forward and take your foot across the mat for pigeon. You can start with an easy does it pigeon. Just bring your left hand onto your hip and roll it forward. Just press it forward, but stay lifted as much as you're able in your torso. Roll in and out. Just roll, softening, loosening, letting go of any tension that might be in there. And then both hands on the mat. If you feel ready, you can slide your front foot forward a little bit as you come into pigeon and lengthen sternum, pressing forward and up. Keep mindfulness on your left hip. Lengthen in the spine. And walk your hands slightly forward. Rest on the right hip and knee and bend the back leg. Bring the foot in towards the hip. Try to keep the hip bones pointing forward. Draw the foot closer and closer to stretch out your thigh. Now, place your hand on the top of your foot or the top of your ankle. Face the hips forward and just press the foot into the hand and let that allow your spine to lift. Try to center your hips, but keep pressing into your hand with that foot, and then lift your right arm up and reach up. And let it come down and release the back leg. Align on your mat so that you can come down to stretch over your leg. Relax and breathe. You can roll side to side if that helps to loosen. Now that you may have a little tightness here, if you've had some pain or if you've been working out, so you can rock forward and back to loosen that up. In your hips, rock them forward and back. So you're pressing your spinal column towards your leg and then lifting it off, curling your hips under a little bit. It's a subtle change, but it's a nice stretch. If there's pain, then it can help to loosen that. And then bring your palms back onto the floor if you feel complete in that stretch. Turn the toes under. We'll come back into downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to come forward once again. We'll get to the other side in just a minute. So just once again, engage your hips, lengthen away from your knees, stretch the front of your body, and let your hips sink gently towards the ground, towards the mat. That's it. And just keep your hips engaged. Allow the pubic triangle to approach the mat. Coming down to the earth, that's the earth chakra there. Bend your elbows softly into your cobra. And lift up and pull back into puppy. Press up into down dog once again. And now just bring the left leg forward for sun pose. Allow the hips to stretch out. And move your hand slightly forward and slide your foot over to the long edge of the mat and just bring your hips down for pigeon. And now your right hand on that hip. Rolling forward and back. Lengthen in your torso. And then bringing both hands onto the mat. And if you want, if you're ready, you can slide your foot forward a little bit to get an even greater stretch on the hip. Align hips to the front. Now relax your left hip onto the mat and bend your right knee. Just stretching the thigh for now. Pulling in. Now aligning both hips forward with your hand on the top of your ankle or your foot. Press the foot into your hand. Lift in your spine, hip bones pointing forward. And then scoop it out with your left arm. Lift it up so you have your back foot up and your left arm. And stretch. And then bring your left arm down. Release the back leg. Bring the knee down and relax over your left leg. Rocking side to side if you want. And also forward and back. Bringing the navel forward towards the shin. Move with your breath. Always stretch on the exhale. Notice how this side feels compared to the first side. And then come into relaxation. Down. Let the hips go. Breathe. All right, now just walk your hands in. Come around facing forward with knees bent. Just a couple of cat stretches, simple and easy. So lift up in your spine, take in your breath. Breathe out and round out your back. Feel the upper back from where you stretched earlier. And then come forward into an arch. One more round out. And last arch. Now a little bit more of a stretch for legs. Just bring your feet in. Bring your left hand inside the left foot. And just lift it up in front of you. Feel the stretch on the back of your leg. And take it side to side. Over and in. Out. And then hold it out to the side. See if you can straighten your knee. You can flex and point your foot here if you like. Circle around. And other leg, reaching on the inside of your foot. Just bring it forward. And side to side. Try to stay lifted. Okay, both feet down, holding on to both heels or ankles, whatever you can manage. Lean back on your tailbone. You can either open one leg at a time, or you can open both legs. You get good leverage if you do both at the same time. Good. Lift. And then bring it in. Ah, and just roll down on your back. I guess we didn't use our cushions, but we did a lot of stretching for hips. So just roll down onto your back for your Shavasana. As you relax down, press your low back into the mat. Open the shoulders, lengthen in the neck, and breathe. And one more press. Low back, spine, back of your neck, shoulder blades under. And then let go of all of that and relax. And just follow my instruction here. This is a great way to release stress, especially at the end of the day, which we're approaching. So just close your eyes and visualize yourself lying in a hammock on a tropical beach. The sun gently warms you, and a light breeze causes the hammock to rock comfortingly. Just a little sway. Your breathing slows down to synchronize with the rhythmic sound of waves breaking onto the shore. With each breath, you feel the tension in your body dissolves. Lull yourself into deep peace. And I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel yourself swaying gently in your hammock. Notice the ocean waves or the movement of the water, relaxing you, calming you even deeper. And start to move now intentionally in your hammock, wiggling fingers, toes, and then bending your knees and bringing them up to your chest. And then thrust your legs over the side of the hammock and come into sitting. Back in the physical dimension. Bring your hands into your favorite mudra. If you can't think of any off the top of your head, you can always just place index finger and thumb together, stretch out the other 3 fingers. And then just bring palms together over your heart center, having sealed in the peace, the stretching, the benefits of your practice. And may you lull yourself asleep tonight and have sweet dreams, and maybe get some information from your guides. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you for that.
Woohoo! Good class.
Yes. That was really good. Really relaxing.
Yeah, good stretch.